What up?
Hello, hello, hello. We are back again.
Today, who's back? Shady's back.
Today, what's the video called again?
We're gonna react to a video. The video we're gonna be reacting to is male versus female gaze, Looksmaxing. Sounds promising enough, so
there's a link in the description. Check it out for yourself.
Male versus female gaze and physiques. On one hand, you have the more hardcore black pillars that think that you can only go as far as looking like this, because otherwise, you will be too big. And at that point, you are male gaze maxing, as some of them might say. And then, although a small minority, there is also a group of people that advocate.
Just got a comment. Looksmaxing has got to be one of the funniest subcultures that exist, at least to me.
Explain it for the viewers that don't know what it is.
For those that don't know what Looksmaxing is, basically, Looksmaxing is a subculture on the internet that seeks to maximize your looks in the most minute details possible. From sharing advice on how to groom yourself, to work out advice, to pseudoscientific things like mewing. Like, if you want to develop a stronger jawline, you should keep your tongue on the upper portion of your lip elevated, not resting in your bottom. That way, your chin doesn't go inwards, but it goes outwards. And people, I believe that that's a placebo. It's borderline a placebo. People actually believe that actually works. But okay, more power to you. Let's go on.
Looking like this. Basically the whole bear mode with big beard, short or even bald hair. This is the true definition of male gaze maxing. And the only thing you're gonna achieve with this is getting more compliments and respect from other men, and looking older in the process. Vast majority of women do not find that attractive at all, and in fact some might even be grossed out by it.
How are you feeling?
You walk away, please. I don't want to talk.
So you don't want to talk?
Okay, I somewhat agree with this statement. However, I personally believe no matter what you look like, if you're buffed or if you're obese, it all depends on your personality, how people are gonna perceive you, and if they're gonna be intimidated by you. No matter if you're a meathead, like he said, shaved head, beard, whatever, I mean. But it all depends on how you portray yourself towards them. If you walk up to them menacingly like, ooga booga, yeah, of course they're gonna be scared. Like, of course they're gonna be disgusted and want to get as far away from you as possible.
Yeah, no, but see, here's the thing. First impressions also matter.
They do.
And there's a difference between first impression from, a couple of exchanges at the beginning of the conversation, and the first impression from just seeing a person. Because let's be honest, we as human beings are judgmental.
We are.
We've evolved like that. And we have certain prejudices regarding how people look that influence our first impressions.
True.
Facts are facts.
But personally, I believe that most guys who go to the gym to get the bodybuilder type, like huge muscles, completely shredded, they don't know how to talk to people.
Yeah,
that's why.
Hi, it's me. Like, what are you touching me?
Like, if you look like Arnold Schwarzenegger in his prime, and you walk up to someone and you're like, lifting, bicep, of course they're not gonna want to talk to you. But if you look like him, and you walk up and you're nice and kind, I think it changes.
I mean, look, at the end of the day, why would you want to talk to someone who can't even lift 100 kilograms? Just like a shit. Don't listen to me. Let's move on.
I want to talk to you.
So, I want to show you the perfect example of someone who in terms of physique was on the female gaze, and now is definitely on the male gaze side. The 100 kilograms version of this dude is just at the point where it's too big and it doesn't appeal to the female gaze. He has decreased his SMV compared to his previous 71 kilograms physique. But hey, it's for sure gonna get you more compliments from the gym bros.
I lost 30 pounds. And the craziest part is the difference between girls and guys. All the bros are like, damn bro, you lost weight. Or losing his gains. Granted, I actually have lost some gains, so they're not incorrect. But I lose weight, and these are what the comments look like. Purely girls. Whereas when I was 20 pounds bigger, comments was purely guys. There's a certain point to where muscle doesn't equate to, it just gets you more guys.
Now this next one case involves pretty much one of the worst
The
Looksmaxxing.
comments something about a premise of the video. The video heavily relies on the premise that we work out for other people. It's the same premise as like women do makeup for men, or like men work out for women. Well, the reality is that most of the people who actually work out don't work out for other people. They work out for themselves.
Yeah.
Either to be healthier, to look better. Like, working out for somebody else really is a killer of motivation and a drive.
It is.
It's just paradoxical to me, you know? And that's the majority of the premise of this video, at least to my impressions.
I mean, that is true, and we'll see that a bit later in the video. But as of right now, he gave the example of the guy. There is a little bit of truth that, like you said, bigger guys look more menacingly. However, it also depends on your body type, which he's also gonna get into that later. Because if someone's used to seeing you in one way, it's gonna take a long time for them to adapt to your new physical appearance. You can notice that when you change your hairstyle, when you change anything about your wardrobe. You can see that it takes a little bit of longer time for people to adjust to that, mostly because they are so used to seeing you in one way, and now it's just like seeing another person. But
Fair.
that's just what I think.
Axes of all time. This TikToker was female gazed, but as you can see, he was quite skinny. And to be honest, this can still work when you're a teen, but he subconsciously felt like he needed to improve, and there is nothing wrong with that. However, the way he went about it is completely wrong, and he even gets...
My point exactly, as you can see, he cut his hair. Personally, I would like if he had the same body and had the same hair, I highly think that he would still be more attractive to the people commenting, because it would still be a part of him that they're used to. He does a complete 360 in a year, he's gonna say, right? Yeah.
A year.
You have anything to add?
No, it's good. Let's go.
And he even gets called out for it in the comments. He did two critical mistakes. The first one was cutting his hair to a buzz cut, and this revealed his receding hairline. Contrary to what some guys in the Looksmaxx community say, I think this guy already had the receding hairline. It's just the fact that the previous hairstyle was hiding it very well. The second mistake was that this guy bulked too much in a single year. He's likely using PEDs. But even on PEDs, you can't gain 40 kilograms of body weight. Not only it is extremely unhealthy for an individual to gain that amount of body weight in such a short amount of time, but also...
Then how did he gain it? Like, the way he phrased it is so weird. Was it magic?
I mean,
Okay, it wasn't natural, sure. But he said, even with PEDs, I know this is what it does. Like, this is what growth hormone does.
Yeah.
This is what trend does.
I mean, it just...
Sorry.
No, it's okay. It just... I have a huge problem with this video, but we're gonna talk about that more at the end of the video.
will permanently age you because of all the systemic stress. And obviously he's extremely bloated and lost all his facial aesthetics because his body fat is way outside of an ideal range of 10 to 12%. Remember how I said he gets called out in the comments? See it for yourself. This is what happens when you go to the male gaze spectrum route. You get attention from other men, and girls find you either unattractive or straight up disgusting.
I just saw one comment that says, "You've aged like 20 years. Yeah, he cut his hair, he's almost bald, and he has beard. Even if he didn't get shred, he would still have the same thing."
Because we associate that with age, basically.
This, my friends, is how you become a Polish truck driver, not how you look smacks. Now, in terms of the female gaze spectrum, there is quite a range that you can be and be fully female gaze, because it will depend on your phenotype, your archetype, and even just how attractive your face really is. For example, if you are as attractive as this guy's, your only concern is to be lean and to not look like a twink, meaning that you can get away with physiques like this. But vast majority of you are average looking, so in order for you to separate yourself from the other average guys around, you need to develop your physique. For you guys that are average looking in the face, you need to try a bit harder. And in general, your physique need to be on point if you want to compete and get to the point where you actually have results from online dating. Because this is, in my opinion, one of the biggest mistakes and quite frankly a huge blind spot in the black pill community. A lot of these guys look at this models and all the Chads and Tyrones.
Tyson Beckford paid the girls a visit.
He mentioned online dating.
Yeah.
I really don't think that if you have a ripped body, you're gonna have bigger chances of getting more matches. Online dating all depends on how attractive you are, mostly from here. And it really, really depends on what your bio is. I'm not saying that looking like you are taking care of your body doesn't help. It does. But I don't think that it makes a difference if you're muscular or if you're muscular. Because online dating is more about trying to show who you really are through photos and a short bio. That's just me.
I mean, look, I think there's always preferences, but from an evolutionary standpoint, there are some things that are just like plainly better.
Yeah.
Like, from a guy's perspective, a girl with wide childbearing hips, as I like to say, is much more attractive, and you're like, oh, Aruga! Ooh, swipe, yeah. And a guy who's more fit, you know, who looks like a me hunt big mammoth, you hunt small rabbit, woman come to me to eat mammoth. There are certain things that both genders prefer. There's obviously going to give you bonus points in online dating.
True.
Sure, a big point of that is what you said, what your bio is, and angles and lighting. But some things you can't just remove with angles.
That's why I said if you're looking like you take care of your body, which means you're muscular, but you're not gigantic.
Yeah, inhuman.
It doesn't matter if you're that kind of muscular or if you're like ooga booga me mammoth, big mammoth, whatever. Because Dwayne The Rock Johnson, he's a big muscular man.
Yeah.
Women still find him attractive. Jason Momoa, everyone, their mother and their father has a crush on him. He's a big muscular man.
You and me, yeah.
Arnold Schwarzenegger in his prime, he was a huge guy. He was a specimen.
Oh yeah.
Everyone was into him. So, I personally don't believe in this male-female gaze. But, if you want, let's continue.
I'll continue later on. Let's watch a bit.
To teach them about being a spokesmodel.
I would really, seriously, really hurry up!
The girls had a new focus for their male fantasies.
And say, what's the point of me going to the gym? Because I will never have the level of attractiveness that they have. And this is where I'm going to have to bring out the graphics. Because I really think this is the only way that some of you are going to understand why staying at home crying on forums and spreading your black pill poison is a waste of time. So here it goes. Say the guys you were all crying about are all in here.
Real quick. Of course, if you stay on forums, that means you're not taking care of yourself.
Yeah.
Of course it's gonna have an impact.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say.
What I want to say from previously, I just find the whole concept of female and male gaze so funny. Like, to me, I believe that, as the old Latin saying goes, de gustibus non est disputandum. There's no dispute about the tastes, because everyone has a different taste. Each individual human being has a different taste from the next person over. It isn't inherent to your sex. It isn't even inherent to your gender. It's inherent to you and all your collective experiences, tastes, whatnot. So to claim that, oh, women just like certain things, and men just like certain things, and they look at things in a certain way. Superficially, it sounds alright, But actually, there's no substance to it. Because the way you view things is directly correlated to your entire past, to your values and whatnot. That's just me.
Personally, while we're on this topic of male gazing and female gazing, I find people who are overly jacked unattractive. So, doesn't mean that, oh, look at this guy, he's super jacked, only men will find him attractive. Like, no. There are people, a huge amount of people who would agree with me because it looks unnatural. And again, I think this video is just downright silly.
Yeah. I'm actually going to start a bit of a discretion to answer to that. But I'm actually going to stand in defense of overly built people. As an example, I'm going to give Ronnie Coleman, the 8 times Mr. Olympia. He competed in the open category. Now, instead of the classic physique, which is basically, you know, a classic muscular physique, the open category in bodybuilding is you try to be as huge as humanly possible. And Ronnie Coleman is the hugest motherfucker that ever lived. You don't win 8 times if you're small. But just looking at his physique at his peak, aesthetically, it's unattractive. But it's a different kind of attractive, what we were talking earlier. The thing that's attractive about it isn't his physique, but the effort he put into the physique and his mindset.
Yeah.
Because he's one in billions of human beings that ever lived who could ever achieve that.
That is true.
And that's the thing that's attractive about that level. About not just in professional bodybuilding, but any athletic profession. Any profession that requires you to dedicate an exponential amount of time of your life to it. It might not make you the most attractive person, but you will definitely be exciting. You'll definitely be awe-inspiring because you are one in a billion.
Yeah, because you
and
put effort in it, like you
yeah,
said.
and that's where your attraction comes from. Aesthetically, it might not be the best, but
No,
the overall attraction.
I was talking only about physical attractiveness.
Yeah, yeah.
I was only talking because it is jaw-dropping to put that much effort in your body. It's astounding.
Yeah.
But I was just talking straightly physical appearance.
That we agree. Okay, moving on.
Very well in the 8+ category. Now let's all assume most of you are around a 4.5 to 6.5 in attractiveness. Statistically, this is not far-fetched. Now, if you guys are doing all the basic softmaxes, but more importantly, you get to a point where you develop a very good aesthetic lean physique, you guys are going to improve massively your score at the lowest case possible. Some of you are going to be 7s, and some of you who were 6s and might have had some pretty boy or more of a classic Chad potential. Now you guys are 8+. Sure, these guys over here are still more attractive than you, but it doesn't matter, because now you have got to the point where you can have abundance. When you now create a Tinder profile, you are going to get results, and more importantly, abundance and ability to choose.
Notice how he's using a paid version for that.
Yeah.
It's not a good representation.
Yeah.
No matter how good looking you are as a man, on the internet, on dating apps and online sites for dating, if you don't pay for it, you won't be shown, which means you're gonna get less matches.
Yeah.
It's just business.
Choose. And the reason why all this other guys don't even matter is because they are not in your area. You are not competing against them. You are competing against locals. That's it for today. Feel free to comment down.
This is what I said earlier. The video rests on the premise that you work out for other people's. You try to improve yourself for others. No, you do it for yourself.
Yeah.
Only such a vain and superficial view as this can make you believe in the delusion that you work out for others.
I mean, he also said that most of you are in 4.5 to 6, right?
at the upper end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that is true, because 5 is the average.
Yeah.
And average is most people.
Yeah, that's why it's a 5.
However, just because you are a 5 doesn't mean you can become a 10. I mean, yeah, it doesn't mean that you can become a 10 solely by working out. You can become a 10 by improving your personality, improving the aspects of what you actually want to become. If someone sees that you're putting so much effort into anything you do, you're just gonna become more attractive.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be bodybuilding.
Yeah.
Like, if someone sees that you put effort into bettering yourself, you're gonna be more attractive.
Yeah.
But
I agree.
the whole, like you said, the whole video is such. I don't want to criticize, because there are definitely a lot of guys, especially, who view this video and they're like, "Oh yeah, this is completely true." You're never competing with anyone when it comes to attractiveness. The only person you're competing with is yourself. Because if you don't like yourself, how is someone else gonna like you? You have to improve yourself for yourself. If you watch this video and you're like, "Oh, I need to hit the gym for the female gaze," no, they will still think you're a douche. They'll still think that you are not a person in the right state of mind, and you'll still be unattractive. Maybe physically you're gonna become a little bit more attractive to a certain group of females or a certain group of males, depending on, who we're talking about. But if you don't put effort in yourself, there's no hope for you. There's really no hope for you.
Plainly put. That's jazz. That's the jazz.
Let us know what you think.
I'll see you next time.
Peace.